Hello and welcome to Workings of a Wishing Chair. For those who don't know, Wishing Chair Productions is the resident puppet theater at the Nashville Public Library in Nashville, Tennessee. This is a tradition that began in 1938 with Tom Tishner and his marionettes. But nearly 25 years ago, the program became Wishing Chair Productions as a nod to Tishner's work and the special chair that he built, where children would come to the library, then sit in the chair, and on their birthday, make a wish. And that is why we are called Wishing Chair Productions. Thanks for joining us. I hope you like the show.
The question has been asked, how do we execute our programming? How does the puppet truck work? Well, the short answer is that it just does. But that answer is not good enough for this episode. So we're going to take a look and discuss the components that make this program so effective. My name is Brett Wilson, Puppet Truck Supervisor, and your host for today. The Puppet Truck operates at the intersection of two award-winning programs, Wishing Chair Productions and Bringing Books to Life. In 2003-2004, these two programs came together to offer the main library high-quality educational entertainment through Wishing Chair Productions with BBTL's groundbreaking early childhood literacy curriculum. But shortly after this union, something happened. Legislation was passed that made it extremely difficult for our partner sites like daycares to travel from their site to the library. This caused a huge wrinkle in the plan. It was concluded that if we can't bring the children at their sites to the library will have to go to the site. From that decision, the Puppet Truck was born. And so, Wishing Chair Productions, BBTL, and the Puppet Truck launched into the community here in Davidson County, armed with purpose to carry out the mission of the library in this unique way. Now, to speak more in depth about BBTL and its programming, I now turn to its program coordinator, Ms. Marie Preptit.
Bringing Books to Life was founded in 2003 out of a desire to intentionally tie in Nashville Public Library's puppetry arts with a citywide call to action to improve early childhood education programs. Bringing Books to Life was designed in conjunction with early childhood professors, educators, and program directors. Using the themes from the Puppet Truck show, Bringing Books to Life equips teachers with tools and strategies to implement developmentally appropriate literacy practices in their classroom, such as using literature in every area of the classroom. When an early childhood education program first becomes a BBTL partner site, they receive an introductory professional development training to introduce them to the program and all the different resources that the library has to offer early childhood educators. A few weeks after that, a BBTL staff member will conduct a story time to model best storytelling practices to the educators and show the children that there's more than one way to tell a story. A week after that, the Puppet Truck will come and conduct a show to help bring a book to life. And then we will host a family literacy celebration at a local library branch to help families learn about different family resources at their local library. Bringing Books to Life strives to be a constant resource to educators and the children and families that they serve through parent workshops, ongoing professional development, and story times.
So as you can see, there's so much available in the Bringing Books to Life curriculum. Marie, thank you. What happened next? With the help of David Toon and the Nashville Public Library's Foundation, we acquired a truck, 2-3 performers. We started offering 1 or 2 presentations a week, educating, entertaining, and introducing young minds to the endless possibilities open and available to them. But over time, something else extraordinary started to happen. Teachers in other grade levels started to take notice, reached out wanting to know how they too could take part in a service that sparked the imagination of children. Pre-K kindergarten expanded to include the other grade levels in elementary, then middle school, high school, universities, rescue shelters, hospitals, community fairs, on and on and on and on. With all this expansion, the puppet truck had to evolve to include more shows, more staff, and more equipment. Equipment that was capable of supplying the same level of quality that one might see in the children's theater. Specialized equipment that could be set up by the same two puppeteers that would perform the show. Now, to understand how we're able to achieve this, let's take a closer look at our specialized equipment built and or designed by Pete Carden right here in the library. Equipment that's allowed us to do the very thing that we do. Featured here is our smallest stage, designated C. This 3-piece all-wood construction sits at 4 feet 3 inches high and features an independent puppet rack, Fender Passport sound system, and has a maximum audience capacity of 35 participants. The setup time for the C stage is between 5 to 10 minutes and rated for indoor-outdoor use. This stage has proven useful when performing at locations with low ceilings. Our next platform featured here, designated B, has an all-aluminum frame with a half-inch wooden insert for the puppet stage. With its all-black set dressing, this version is rated for indoor use only. Sitting at 5 feet high, the B stage includes an independent puppet rack, sound system, and 2 downstage lighting lamps. This stage is rated for a maximum audience capacity of 125 participants and can be set up in 15 to 20 minutes. This performance platform has proven itself useful at locations with fellowship halls and multi-purpose rooms. Seen here is one of our larger platforms designated A or A1. This all-wood construction sits just under 6 feet 5 inches and consists of 2 modular sections. The front section has built-in stage lights, sound system, and capable of supporting additional theatrical equipment like fog machines. The rear section features a built-in puppet rack, staircase, and storage pods for parts and equipment. This section is also capable of supporting wall extenders and marionette holders for more complex productions. The A stage has been rated for a maximum audience capacity of 200 participants, can be used for indoor-outdoor use, and a setup time of 10 to 15 minutes. As you can imagine, this stage has been invaluable at community outdoor events, school gymnasiums, and in large performance halls. We've now arrived at our latest addition to the Puppet Truck arsenal of invaluable platforms. This stage, featured here, is designated A2. Similar to its predecessor, the A2's front and rear section consists of an upper and lower wooden base platform connected to 12 steel vertical supports. The steel supports allow crew members to adjust the performance height of the stage to any specification supplied by our partner sites. With all the same refinements as the A stage, the A2 now affords puppet truckers the flexibility to meet the requirements of current and future needs. This may seem like a lot, but with a team of 7, 3 full-time, 2 part-time, 2 substitute puppeteers with 2 puppet trucks, we stand ready to satisfy any request sent our way. Puppet truck presentations are scheduled with a 3-hour block time. Puppet truckers will arrive 1 hour and 15 minutes before the scheduled performance time. That first 15 minutes is used reviewing critical information about the site, name of the contact, telephone number, where the performance will take place, loading instructions, and any obstacles that they should be mindful of when they arrive. They'll also use this time to load any necessary equipment into the puppet truck. Now, with 1 hour before the performance time, they depart the library with a 30-minute window to arrive at the site. Once they arrive, they'll check in with the main office and have 30 minutes to do their complete setup before the showtime starts. The presentation will include an introduction to the performers, because for a lot of kids, this is their first time meeting us and seeing a puppet show, an introduction to the story, rules for being a good audience member, then the show. After the show, we'll offer a demonstration of how the puppets work, then a Q&A session. So altogether, the presentation can be anywhere between 35 minutes to an hour. After that, once we break down and reload the truck, we'll head back to the library, and that marks our 3 hours. Let's switch gears for a moment and address why programming like this is so important to our community. At this time, I turn to Elise Adler, Assistant Director for Education and Literacy for the Nashville Public Library.
National Public Library's mission is to promote reading, advance learning, and connect community. I think nationally, one of the things that National Public Library does best is connect community. Our slogan is "Books are only half the story," and books are so important. And we have a very big story. And the other part of that story is our programming and services for the public, things other than the books. We are very successful in this area for many reasons. We talk to our audiences. Whenever we start a program, whenever we want to have any kind of program, we talk to the intended audience and we say, here's what we're thinking. What do you think? What would make you interested in this? So the idea of engagement is critical. We have to be engaging. We have to be relevant. We also have to be accessible. So we are always looking at what's going on in our neighborhoods and in our city. One of the things I think that sets us apart from other libraries is the degree of quality, intentionality in terms of measurable outcomes, and the creativity of the staff, which I've just never stopped being amazed at the creativity of this staff. I believe we are still the only public library in the country that has performing artists on staff. And it shows. It shows in our numbers. It shows in how valued we are in the city. And quite frankly, if people aren't here with the library, then we don't exist. And we take that really seriously. As I mentioned, that people have a lot of things they can do with their time, but we want them to engage with the library, and the library wants to engage with them where they are, and that can be educationally, economically, or geographically. And that leads me to the importance of the puppet truck. When you say even the phrase puppet truck, everyone smiles. And there is tremendous entertainment value in the puppet truck. And we love that. The most exciting thing about the puppet truck is not only the entertainment value, but also the educational value. It is also all about access. And I use the word access in a couple of ways. First of all, the puppet truck brings the shows to the audiences. But it also offers multiple entry points for different audiences. There's art, and that's both in the artistry of the puppets and the costumes, but also the sets. Then there's the musical component. So whether or not you speak the language, you can look at the art, you can listen to the music. And for so many audiences, it's the first and possibly only time people have seen live theater, which is important for people to broaden their minds and to help educate. And all of it put together promotes reading and promotes literacy. I don't know, does it get better than that?
You know what, Elise? I don't believe that it does. I don't believe that it gets any better than that. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce to you Miss Rebecca Jordan of the Richland Place Assisted Living Facility, Miss Darlene Neely of the Nia House Montessori School, and Miss Sue Soda of the St. Ignatius School. These three partner site leaders, they've been with the program for years, and they all share a very unique but different perspective on how puppet truck programming has affected the lives of those they serve.
The puppet truck has enriched the lives of my residents by bringing the art of storytelling to us, an art form that's maybe more thought of as a childlike activity, but something that I have watched my residents engage with through laughter and joy. And not only does it recall and make them remember their time as children listening to stories, but it helps ground them as adults who love stories. And it makes them engage with their own story, helps them to think about things and stories that they tell and retell. And it allows them to do so with levity and hope. And I love watching how it brings such joy to them and their lives.
I have enjoyed the puppet truck being a catalyst for building curriculum, not only through study of stories and puppetry and where puppets developed, and a whole curriculum on African American puppeteers that we did at our school, but just children being exposed to other opportunities. So now they see Brett and his team and they say, oh, I could be a puppeteer. What does that entail? Having workshops personally with the puppeteers and talking with them, calling and asking questions about how to make puppets, and Brett running to our school and actually bringing some puppets for us to see as we're creating our cultural celebration, and the students then creating their own shadow puppets for a presentation. And so I no longer think of the puppet truck as just an opportunity for language and development and reading to come in, but also, as I said before, just really a curriculum, being a part of our curriculum at Nia House Montessori, and excited to see where we'll go.
We're in a very diverse area of Nashville, and most of the families in our program don't have the resources to get their children downtown. So when we see the wonder and the excitement on the faces of the children as they watch the puppet show, it's priceless to us. They're listening to the story, and at the same time, they're trying to figure out how do the puppets work. This is a priceless gift to the families and the children in our area.
So before signing off, I wanted to say thank you for sharing part of your day learning about the puppet truck, and to suggest that if you have questions about anything you've seen, please feel free to send them to us right here. Until next time, so long.